Hey everybody, and welcome to the Intentional Harmony Podcast. This podcast is for musicians looking to jumpstart their career, inspire others, and get motivated to make the life of your dream. I don't care if you've been playing music for 5 years or 20 years. If you want a career in music, then what the heck are you waiting for? And let me clarify when I say career. This podcast is not just for musicians that want to make it big. This is for the musician who wants to play part-time, the brand new artist who just needs a little push in the right direction, the artist who does want to make it their full-time gig, and even the artist who's still figuring it out, because really, aren't we all? Whatever your dream and vision may be, this podcast will be here for you. I'm your host, Katie Warren, and I am so excited that you decided to listen today. My goal with each episode is that you explore deeper thoughts, build confidence to make your dream a reality, and give you practical tools and ideas that you can apply to real-life situations. Hey guys, welcome to episode 11. Again, thank you so much for listening every week. I really appreciate your support, and this episode is going to get a bit vulnerable for me, so I just want you to know that I am speaking from the heart, and if you have never gone through people closest to you doubting you, or you questioning yourself and feeling like you're alone, as if you're the only one who cares about the direction you want to go in life, then this episode may not be for you. To those who have felt alone in this with their dreams and their life direction, please keep on listening. I hope this hits home with you, and I hope that you can relate to this in some way and just know that, you are not alone at all. So I remember the day well. I was at my dad's house, and our relationship has never been strong. Even as a little girl, he worked late nights. I never had a connection with him like I did with my mom. And he was not nice to me growing up. As a little girl and throughout my teenage years, there was just a lot of issues. And every weekend, I would have to go over to his house. And I remember unpacking my horn on my bed in the bedroom at his house. And I took it out, and I was getting ready to practice my solo for solo ensemble. And he said, "Katie, are you really going to go into music, or is this a phase?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to be in a symphony." And I went on. And I will never forget, he looked at me and said, "That isn't a real job. You are never going to be successful and make money. Figure out a real job to do." And then he walked out of the room. And thank goodness I was mad enough already at his treatment towards me, because I set out to prove him wrong. But what I realized along the way, after I turned 18 and didn't have to visit him, that while I was upset with him, it wasn't about proving him wrong. I went into music because it was about being true to myself. And I realized that I didn't have to find my self-worth in his opinion and words. I can't change his opinion. And I can't change the way he made me feel, or how small he made me feel, the emotional harm I endured as a child and a teenager. That is the past. But what I can do is listen to my heart. So again, I'm going to repeat a sentence in there. I did not find my worth, his opinions and words. So if you have anyone in your life where, they may be doubting you or telling you you can't do this, I want you to remember that. And when I look back, I was angry, but most of all, I was confused, right? We as musicians go through this a lot, of having to convince people of the path we choose. And here's someone who half created me doubted my dreams and trying to get in the way of where my heart was pulling me to go. And thank God I had a mom who supported me through everything, because she is a godsend to this day. I love her to death. But really, growing up, I dedicated every second I had to music. I was not in the popular crowd. I was kind of an outcast in high school. I didn't fit in with a lot of groups. But I found music, and that was my thing. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate. I had a few close friends, but at every chance I had, I was in that band room. Music was, at many times, the only escape for me and the only direction I had in parts of my life. And again, my mom has been supportive through all of this, so I love her to death. But going through all of these things with my dad was really hard for me, and honestly, music pulled me through it. So I just wanted to share that, because it's really getting to the core of what I'm trying to say today. In an ideal world, we look inside and we get approval from ourselves. But let's be real. That's not realistic, right? It's human nature to look for acceptance. It feels good. So when we get passionate about something, we want to go tell the ones who are closest to us about that passion and the dream. But then they don't react how we thought they would. It stings, right? It makes us question ourselves, our relationship, everything. And we take that as not having permission almost, right? They don't understand or feel the importance, so we feel wrong for following our heart. I know what we go through as musicians, you guys. I've talked to so many people. I've been through it myself. This is a really common thing in this field, in any art field, really. It's like you tell people you're going to school for music, if you chose to go to school for music, and they're like, oh, what are you going to do with that? You know, people don't think this is a realistic career, but I want you to know that sometimes all you need is a little courage to push through those who don't understand you and find it within yourself to continue. Because the world is going to give you approval eventually, right? That one person who needed to hear your music in that moment, the time that they press play, they're going to give you approval. Your fans who follow you and relate to you and support your vision and engage with you, buy your tickets and go to your shows, they're going to give you approval. But sometimes the people closest to us are the wrong ones to get approval from, right? They have tunnel vision. They see us every day. And it almost creates a filter in their eyes to imagine anything different, right? They see us as the regular Katie that they know all along. So again, sometimes the people closest to us are the ones that understand last. They can't dig past that normal vision of us, but this little flame that we've been nurturing inside of us for so long, it's building, right? Slowly, every day, the more we practice, the more we play, the more we perform. But they don't see that nurturing happening because they're seeing us every day, right? Those little changes are almost unnoticeable. These milestones are passing by. And everything we do, little by little, it adds up to an end result, that big milestone, that big blow up that they haven't seen yet. But they will. Those people, the first ones to find out, are the last ones to fully understand a lot of the time. So next time you feel unvalued or like you don't have support because those closest to you don't understand, please, I want you to look inside. You have all that you need to be successful. All that you ever need. You just need the courage to reach inside and pull it out. Have the courage to keep doing it, and I promise you the support is going to follow. You are the only one that can see the vision of your dreams, and again, I say this all the time, you will always care about your dream more than anyone else cares about your dream, right? They have their own. So who do you have left to lean on? Your body and mind. It carries you through everything. I know it's hard when people say you can't do it or get a real job, but you know deep down what you were made for, and that, my dear, was something more. You were made for something more, and you are the only constant in your life no matter what. You have to deal with yourself all the time through this crazy life, so make sure you're supporting your dreams inside the way you want others to support it. And again, the support from everyone else is going to come. I have one last detour before I end this episode, and it's about oversaturation. If you have fears of there being too many guitar players, too many singers, pianists, percussionists, whatever that may be, that you will never cut through the noise, I want you to drop those fears. Do you know how boring and dull the music industry would be if we acted on those fears? You guys, if every single singer said, nah, there's too many people singing. All the bases are covered, that's it, I'm not needed, that's enough. No! What the heck would we do without amazing singers if they thought there was already enough of them out there? You're a percussionist? Nah, too many drummers. Guitar player? Nah, there's already enough. Really? Because I'm pretty sure if we all had that mindset, there would be nobody. We would all be waiting for each other. You guys, music evolves, and that only happens when we bring uniqueness into the industry and let our creativity be heard. So I don't want you to think for one more second that you don't have what it takes, that you are not special enough to push through the noise, because you do. There's no one else like you out there. And thank God, because that would be really boring. And then it would be okay to use that excuse. But guess what? It's not. You are unique. You're your own person. And if you're telling yourself that you won't push through the noise and that the industry is oversaturated with whatever your talent is in, then that's your own excuse and fear talking. That's not using your courage. Courage is like a muscle. You have to exercise it and exercise it. And part of that is getting your mind in the right place and not talking yourself out of things. You have the courage and you have the talent and capability to do this. I hope that was helpful. I try not to get too vulnerable, but I know that if I'm having these feelings, then others must be too. We are not alone in this. And thank you all so much for listening. If this spoke to you, please send me a message on Facebook or Instagram or via my website, intentartistmanagement.com. I would love to hear. You can find me on social media at Intent Artist Management, but seriously, send me a message if you felt like this. You know, I know there's others out there. There's a lot of us out there. And if you like this episode, please leave a rating, comment, let me know how I'm doing. This podcast is for you guys. And I want to make sure you have the tools and you have the mindset that you need to go in and bring your own voice into the industry, because we need you here. We're here for each other in such an amazing community of creative, brilliant minds. So take this, listen to it again if you have to, and don't forget it. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next week on Intentional Harmony.